Hi, welcome to this video in which we're going to be talking about ability, the ability to complete the task, the ability to be an effective colleague. When we think about ability, we need to think about two things. We first of all need to think about skill. Does an individual have the capability based on their experience with the task, training, knowledge and natural ability? Effectively, can they do the job? We need to consider both technical skills, so do they have the knowledge around insurance, the knowledge around building construction, the knowledge of the system, and also we need to think about soft skills, so can they communicate effectively, can they investigate, do they have good time management skills, and then we need to think about willingness. Okay, willingness, an individual's desire to complete a particular task based on attitude, incentive, confidence and personal feelings. So an individual may have all the skills required, but they don't feel motivated. They don't see any reason why they need to complete the task to a certain level. We need both willingness and skill if we are going to keep our promises, if colleagues are going to be effective. We can look at 4 different boxes and we can put our teammates in one of these different boxes. If we look at the one there in the top left hand corner, empower. So these are colleagues that have the required skills, high skills, and they have high willingness. This could be experienced colleagues who enjoy the work. We shouldn't ignore these colleagues. It may be over time they could become demotivated, they could become bored. We perhaps need to consider whether we can give them some additional tasks. Possibly, we could give them some management tasks to do to support us in our role. We then look at the motivate box. So these are people that have a high skill and a low motivation. This could be experienced colleagues who no longer enjoy the work, who perhaps feel that they've been passed over for promotion, who perhaps would like to be doing something different, but there are no opportunities for them. We've then got the guide box. These are people who have the willingness, they really want to do a good job, but they lack the skills. These could be new employees who have not trained properly, or they could be possibly employees who we've recruited to undertake a particular task, but it becomes apparent that they don't have the natural ability to complete that task, and we may need to consider whether they perhaps need to do something different. I'll give you an example, stupid example. I might want to play football for England. I might have the willingness, I might practice every hour of every day. I simply don't have the natural ability to play football for England. I don't have the required skill set. And then we have people in the direct box. So these are people with a low skill and a low willingness. So this could be new employees, for example, who don't have the required skills. And because they don't have the required skills, they're nervous. They don't feel confident. They don't feel motivated to do the job because they're worried that they're going to make mistakes. In other words, the low skill then results in the low motivation. So I want you to think about colleagues and which box they actually sit in. And what I want you to do is to identify a colleague who perhaps has high skill or an average level of skill, in other words, that they can do the job, but they lack motivation. So they fit into the motivate box. And then I want you to think about a colleague who has the motivation, has the willingness to do the job, but lacks these skills, and these could be technical or soft skills, and they would sit in the guide box. I will give you a couple of examples from my personal life. As most of you will be aware, or some of you will be aware, I take part in various dog sports, and one of them is flyball, where a dog has to jump over 4 jumps, grab a ball from a box, and jump over the hurdles to get back to me, the handler. Sounds fairly simple, but it's actually a bit more difficult. So Wilf, my dog, knows exactly what to do. He rarely makes mistakes. He understands the concept. Unfortunately, he lacks motivation. He will go over the jumps. He will get the ball in record time. And once he's got the ball, he's got what he wants to get. He's got his prize. He's got the thing that's most important to him, and so he slowly ambles back. He lacks the motivation. He doesn't understand why he needs to come back quickly. So I need to work on his motivational skills, trying to encourage him back rather than working on his actual ability, technical ability to do the work. And then if I look at the opposite side, which would be willingness and skill, in other words, a high willingness and a lower skill set. So I also do hoopers, which is running around a course of hoops and barrels and other different obstacles. You need to go from start to finish with the minimum number of mistakes. So he's motivated to do that, he enjoys doing it, and he wants to go from the start to the finish, and he wants to do it in the best time possible. Unfortunately, at this stage in his career, he lacks some of the skills in order for him to complete some of the courses. At the moment, we're working on him turning left and right, and we haven't quite got that yet. So it's not a lack of motivation, it is a lack of skills, and we need to work on that. It is often more difficult to deal with the motivational aspect as compared with the skill, so long as someone has the inherent ability to do the work. I suspect that we will never motivate him sufficiently for him to be a very good flyball dog, but I suspect I can train him to be a better hoopers dog. So a silly example, but hopefully that's explained it. So I need you to think about that. Think about your individual. Prefer it to be two different individuals. Obviously, you could have someone that sits in the direct box, but I prefer if it was two different individuals who have specific needs around skill and motivation. And then I want you to share with me on a confidential basis that the name of that individual and what you're trying to achieve. In other words, motivation or skills. Be quite specific in what you're wanting to achieve. And as we go through the management training and the different ideas and concepts that we talk about, we can then work out what we can do to assist you in improving the performance of that colleague by either giving them the required skills or the required level of motivation. Okay, thank you for listening. Bye.